Hello, welcome back to another fashion channel. I'm JJ Bookstore, and today we're sitting in my book corner for possibly the last time, as I do not know in the new house if it will be a corner or not. I genuinely don't know what the office space is going to look like, what it's going to be made of. I'm very excited to decorate it and find out and just make that space mine and my partner's. I'm so excited for everything that we're doing together. We just bought a car and it's been a whole experience. That being said though, I had decided to start this reading vlog. I wasn't going to do it because we're moving on Wednesday. Our schedule this week is just so messy. Technically I'm starting this on a Friday because I'm going to work tomorrow and so I'm definitely going to be reading tomorrow, so it's going to go from Friday to someday I don't know. I also have no idea when this vlog will be posted, but I do know it'll be posted because this is one of the final reading vlogs. This is the final reading vlog I'm doing inside this house. That's not to say there won't be updates inside this house for reading vlogs in the future, because it's my mom's house. I'll definitely be coming back to my parents' house. It's a bit nerve-wracking knowing that by the end of this vlog, we'll be moved and my office space will definitely be, I'd definitely be together and stuff. It's one of the first rooms I'm going to be working on unpacking, with our bedroom and then some other stuff. But for instance, this chair is not coming upstairs probably ever. I don't know if it'll ever be upstairs, but I also know how big the space is, so I don't know. We'll just see how it goes. I'm super curious. You'll find out in this video. The moving and packing and unpacking vlog is completely separate. There is literally no reading. There's a few updates here or there, but there's barely any reading in it. But I've been doing a lot of reading. So the book I'm currently working through, I'm a bit further than where all my bookmarks are. There's 3 in here because I didn't want to lose them. And that is See It Glass by Cassandra Clare, sorry. With all of this going on, I have just decided that I've been craving some rereads, and so I've been picking up some rereads. That being said, See It Glass was one of those first ones I picked up for that reread. I put it down, I picked it back up, I put it down, I picked it back up. Essentially, I think I read a whole entire book before I picked it back up. I'm very excited though to jump back into it and stuff. It's not my favorite out of the series. It's actually one of my least favorite ones. So it is kind of a pain to get through, but I'm very excited because the next one I'm going to get to read, and I'll probably go ahead and put it on hold immediately so I can read it very soon, is the first book in the Magnus series, is all I'll say. I don't want to spoil the love interest in case you've never read Shadowhunters. Shadowhunters is one of my favorites. And then lastly, I've been reading on my Kindle here recently, which is great. Kindle reading, it's always the best. Finished my read through of Attack on Titan as far as I could go. So now we have the manga, so I'm going to work my way from 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14 this week. I do plan on reading all 6 books this week. I'm trying to read 1 during lunch, and so we might get through 4. We might not get through all 6, but we're going to get through a bunch of them before this vlog is up, I promise. And that's what my current... Oh, I also finished today Masquerade and Masks or something like that by Stephen Grandjones. I throw it up. It's a little novella. I read this a long time ago, but I didn't remember any of it. And this is about, very vaguely, this group of friends finds a mannequin, and they end up doing things to this mannequin, and then this mannequin comes back to haunt them, is all I'll say. It's fun, it's Stephen Graham Jones, exactly what I expected, exactly what I wanted. Hello, it's 7 o'clock, 6:30, something like that, the next morning. 2 mornings from when I saw you last, I don't remember. But I read 2 books today. One of them I finished while packing. Once again, we are moving, like I talked about this, my face is all red and sweaty. I'm not done yet, that's why we're also in front of this, because there is no book corner. It's gone. It's officially moved. I'm looking at empty shelves, which I guess I could film in front of, but the lighting over there is just almost as bad as the lighting is here. So that being said, let's go ahead and update you. Let's talk about See It Glass because I did start it. I don't know if I talked about starting it though in this vlog. I can't remember. I've been reading it for a little bit now. So I originally had picked it up and then I got 20% in, 17% in. Then I put it down and I read a few other things just because they basically enlightened me more, and I knew I had time to put it down to pick it back up. Also, with a reread, you can kind of pick it down and put it back up a few times. I think I did it 3 times throughout this entire reading process for this book, because the first half is not good. It's not bad, but it's just boring, because I know all the twists, I know all the turns, and I very much remembered almost every beat of the first part of this novel. The second part, I also remembered almost every beat of this novel. I honestly did not realize that this is the book with the scene, but that's kind of cool. I thought that was book 5? Maybe 5? I thought it was book 5. But it's not. It's this one, which is nice. So it does mean that either way. The first series, the villain, I really hate the villain in these, and it was the same case here. Also, there's a plot line that has to be completed that I really don't like, and I think it's just really dumb and really stupid, that she uses twice. What's up with that, Cassie? That's all I'll say. By the way, it was a 3.5. It did get higher rated from the initial read. I think I initially gave it a 3. That being said, I am trying to read 2 Attack on Titans every day for no reason except that's just what my goal is while I'm at work. So I'm reading 2 during lunch breaks. I read Attack on Titans Volume 9 and Attack on Titans Volume 10. This one all has to do with the Beast. This one has to do with the Revelations. Both were a 4.5 for a multitude of different reasons. This one, I feel like the next 2 could be 5s, but this is the middle period in the big storyline overall. I do feel like it's moving faster here, and there's a few flashback stuff that I feel like is well better done here than in the TV show, because in the TV show it truly feels like a halt, whereas this does not feel like a halt, so I do enjoy the exploration of some of those characters. With that being said, overall though, they are extremely true, or the TV show is extremely true to source material. There's only a little bit of ups and downs and bumps here and there, and one thing I do love the fact that I watched the TV show first in this regard is the fact I knew what the pictures look like when they're moving, and so the action sequences feel more movement than I would say if I probably read it for the first time. That being said, we are done with this. We'll be reading 11 and 12 today once I'm up and moving. Alright, that's the plan. And that's what I read. Hello! I want to come here and update you guys. Today is Sunday. I would normally be at work, but I'm not. Thank God. I have so much more work to do. My goal today is to go through the entire and clean up and take care of our entire bedroom today. If you can see all of that back there, sure it looks messy, but that's all we're packing, moving stuff. See all this over here? Sure it looks messy, and it will be packed up. So that's the reason. There was originally bookshelves back there. Isn't that crazy? Now they're over there. Because you can see. Okay, either way. So we have Red Scrolls of Magic. This is the next book I picked up. I wasn't sure if I was going to pick up the next book in the Shadowhunters world, or if I was going to pick up Invincible Life. I've officially decided that we're moving forward with Shadowhunters period during this move period. This is what I want. So this is what I'm going to read. This is set in between the events of book number 3 and book number 4. And then when I initially read it, it was a 5-star. Most people do not like the Elder's Curses series. It's not their favorites. A lot of people give them between 3s and 3.5s. I give them 5s. I love these characters so much, and I love this romance so much. I think it's so tender and sweet, and I'm just a very, very big fan. So, I am almost a little under halfway through it. We'll be finishing it today while all the cleaning is going amongst. Looks like it's still going to be a 5-star. I remember parts of it. I don't remember all of it, but I love all the little cameos. Oh my god, the cameos. It's such a fun time. Such a fun time. Especially now that I know everybody's story, where they're all headed. I don't know. There's a dad that pops up in here, that's all I'll say, and I was like, oh my god, I know your kid. I love your kid. Okay, either way. Then I read books number 11 and 12 by for Attack on Titans. I think we're going 4.75s. I know, kind of crazy, kind of high, different. Maybe this is a 4.5. This is a 4.75. This was about. No, they're 5s. They're 5s. I had to think about it. The ending makes them 5s. Even if the whole thing, in my opinion, is not perfect, the ending to me is definitely perfect. So. She's a 5. She's a 5. We're heading at 5 to Attack on Titans. It's a perfect manga series, in my opinion, so far. There's been a few volumes, I guess. Like, during the slow stuff, while we're still building up certain character arcs. Some character arcs are completely different from the ones that I know. They weren't as mesmerizing, but yeah. I am still reading about 2 every lunch break, and I'll take the next 2 that I have, which are 13 and 14, with me over. Oh, well, we'll take the next 2 tomorrow when I go to work. Tomorrow is my last day of working until Thursday, and I'm hoping to stop by the library Thursday morning before I head into work to pick up the volumes and drop off the current volumes that I'm read. So that's the plan. I will talk to you guys very soon. Hello, and welcome to the final official update for reading in this house. Tomorrow I will do my first official update of reading in our new home, our first ever home together, which I'm very excited about. But I do have some reading to talk about, so let's go ahead and chat. I read Attack on Titans volume 13 yesterday. I did not get to the 14th one because it just didn't end up happening, which is fine. But I did read 13. I think this was like a 4.5. It's the first one where it's kind of slowed down a little bit and things were dealing with some politics stuff. Politics stuff was interesting, okay, in the show, and I feel like it's going to be about the same here, so I'm expecting some more results and some more, like, enjoyment-wise, is what my brain thought. Then I did end up finishing The Red Scrolls of Magic by Cassandra Clare. This is the first book in the Elder Curses, or the first book that follows Magnus as a main character in another character. Once again, I don't want to spoil that. If you know anything about the Shadowhunters, I'm sure you can figure it out, but if you don't, go into it blind. I will have to say, though, because, I mean, this is so weird. Essentially, it was a 5. I loved it, but if you know what this book is about, I'm going to get into a teensy bitsy little spoilers, just to mention what other character is. but the screen will turn black and white, so you can just fast forward if you don't care or you don't want to know. So Alec's character, which is obviously he's on the cover, is so interesting here because of the simple fact that, in my opinion, it adds such depth to the character of Alec, more depth than I remembered, and I just enjoyed their banter. I enjoyed everything about it. Also, jumping from this one to City of Fallen Angels, which came out so many years prior, it's a black and white difference, in my opinion, on writing style, but also like the way dialogue is written, the way everything is written. Cassandra has grown so much from these 2 points, which is an interesting way of doing this reread, seeing these experiences and stuff. Alec as a character was so fascinating. I just loved it. I loved their relationship so much. That being said, it was a 5, so was a 5, so one of my favorite series. I have a strong feeling the second one, if I could give a higher than a 5, I think the second one in this series is one of my favorite Shadowhunter books of all time. So we'll see if that's true or not when I get there. That being said, I also read the first half of City of Fallen Angels since the last time we talked. Essentially, I'm just blowing my way through these. I'm very much not enjoying this. Unshockingly, it's a Simon-centric story, and I really don't like Simon. Also, I am not gonna lie to you, Cassandra, you're doing too much, okay? Essentially, the relationship between Jace and Clary by the 4th book in this relationship is so dumb. It is so stupid. We did not spend all that time for them to be in this battle. I understand, because I know spoilers, and I know what's coming or whatever, of what Jace is fighting, but seriously, miscommunication for like an entire novel is a lot. Miscommunication with a set of characters that we have been doing this back and forth. Like, I understand it's a whole new trilogy, so we gotta do this whole new back and forth, but do we really? I feel like you can do better than that with your romance than having it just be a back and forth. I don't know, in my opinion. And then Simon, you know, I actually don't really mind Simon here. He's just kind of annoying, but it has one of my least favorite characters of all Shadowhunters, and that's Camilla. She's in this. That's not on the back, so I guess it's a bit of a spoiler. She shows up in like the first 2 chapters. It's not really that spoiler. That's where I'm at. This is the final update. We've done a lot of almost this entire channel has been filmed in this area, in one part of this room or the other. Thank you for going on this journey with me, and I will see you. No, I mean, I'll see you tomorrow, but like, we're starting a whole new journey together, which is both exciting and scary. Hello! This is the first update in the new house. Isn't that crazy? Either way, I did finish Sea of Fallen Angels this morning. I had about 20% left, and I didn't really get to read it yesterday because of all the moving and stuff. As you can see, we have moved it. By the way, I did finish Sea of Fallen Angels. I gave it a 3. It's probably my second least favorite Shadowhunter book to date. I was really disappointed with it. Also, interestingly enough, I did not realize the ending of this book happened in the ending of this book. That was really good. The 3rd act was good, but I didn't really like anything else about it. And a lot of things I thought happened in later books happened in this one, so I'm curious to see about the later ones. We will be starting City of Heavenly Fire relatively soon. I want to read I Was a Teenage Slasher by Stephen Graham Jones first, so I have officially started that, and I'll be reading it at work a little bit today and stuff. Updates. I updated you guys. I finished City of Fallen Angels, right? Pretty sure I did. I started I Wish I Was a Teenage Slasher by Stephen Graham Jones. I originally had an e-arc for this. I still technically do. It doesn't expire until like August something, which is pretty cool. But I decided to buy the audiobook instead. I read a few physical Stephen Grahams, but I really enjoyed a lot of his audio representations. This one's interesting. I'm having an interesting experience with it. About a boy. He's a teenager. He has a peanut allergy, and it makes him, like, evolves into him becoming a slasher. The opening is a bit different from that, but I can't really explain it without giving away too many spoilers. So we're gonna read this, and then I think I'm jumping into City of Heavenly Fire next. I actually have a few short books that I was gonna read on car rides, but I've actually decided to just read the book that I'm currently reading on the car ride. I have learned that the 2 to 3 speed doesn't really fuck with my head like I thought I was going to. I have certain books I was gonna read on 2 speed, because I can't read a book on 3 speed while driving, logically. That makes no sense. And I've learned that it's not necessary for me to have that speed or whatever while reading it. Alright, that being said, I'll update you guys. Alright, I'm gonna come here and give you guys an update. I did finish Teenage Slasher 1. I can't tell you the rating because it is part of a 5-star prediction, which will eventually be coming out. That being said, I did move on to my next read, which let me go get it. The one I picked up next is City of Lost Souls by Cassandra Clare. This is the 5th book in the Mortal Instruments, and I'm, I guess, 15% into it. I'm not entirely sure what that means. I'm so happy that the narrator, they dropped a male narrator in here. I mean, he's a fine actor, but I cannot stand his voice. Also, this is a proclaimed favorite Shadowhunter book, so hopefully it does live up. I looked at my rating though, and I would give it like a 4. Proclaimed where? I don't know. On the internet apparently. That I absolutely love this one because a lot of people didn't like this one. A lot of people find this one a bit slow and a bit boring because there's a lot of no action. And like the middle part, once like there's action in the beginning once the plot gets going for this one, and then it's just kind of bogging, and then it's like action maybe like right here or something. And I really love the exploration of the characters and the setup for this one. Also, they bring back a very controversial plot line, and I think it's done better here than it's done anywhere else. Even though I have a strong feeling I'm not going to want to read it again. I'm not going to like have a fun time reading it again. So we'll see if that affects the score or not. Hello. If you hear a plane, I now live by an airport, so that I can do nothing for you. We are here. The bookshelves are completed behind me. I know I was supposed to film something for it, but we'll do a bookshelf tour if you guys want one. I think I've gone through all the books on it, but I can show you what turned into. That being said, I have been reading a ton since I last updated you. I simply didn't feel like updating you until things were moving along a little bit better. I finished, oh my god, final check-in for a final book. That's kind of cool. As I read 2 other graphic novels, Devil's Highway, it kind of got on a weird little thing, and I didn't really like it. So I gave it a 3.5. You can kind of understand where the story decided to get canceled. I do like the first one, though. I recommend if you like graphic novels, you like darker, hoary things, and you don't mind there being blood and stuff in it, I think you would probably... I'm tired, so I'm not having the greatest pitch, but you know. And then the other one was an X-Men Gala one. I'll throw it up. I'm reading another one tomorrow for it. Essentially, I'm just looking for clothes. I'm not even reading it. I couldn't even tell you what it's about. I don't even know why this character threw a gala, but I read it. I looked at it. I looked, etc. Through all this moving, through all these things, I have also picked up City of Lost Souls, which I did declare at one point being my favorite Shadowhunter book of all time in the entire series. This has swiftly been moved because of Clearing Iron Darkness. I'd say Clearing Iron Darkness is one of my favorites. The Red Scrolls of Magic trilogy, or the Elder Scrolls, also some of my favorite books. And then final books. We're talking Clockwork Princess, which I didn't love so much on this reread, so maybe not. Chain of Thorns, so I definitely didn't quite enjoy. And then obviously City of Heavenly Fire, which I'm very excited to get into. Apparently I don't like the first 15%. I'll remember that when reading it. This book, however, I gave it a 4. I know vaguely why I gave it a 4, but I'm kind of in here for the ride. I ain't gonna lie. It's been a fun ride. I haven't really remembered 90% of it, which has made it a very fun ride. And the incesty stuff hasn't really popped up, which is really nice. I do have a feeling it's going to rave its full head in, though, before I know it. But yeah, that's it. That's the vlog. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you did in the comments down below. I don't know when this is going to get posted. And once again, for outros, do let me know in the comments down below if you guys prefer outros that have the full going back through all the books we read this past week, or if you like outros that are more like this, where I'm just kind of telling you the last check-in and then moving on with the vlog. You know, let me know in the comments down below as I can start to shape it how the audience wants it. Alright, thank you guys for watching, and goodbye.